Hello, your hair is amazing, Ed. Hello and welcome to Swapping Joysticks. I'm your host, Ben Ostwick, and joining me as always is the hairy, scary Ed Nightingale. Hello, Ed Nightingale.
Hello.
Hair looks fantastic.
It's very fluffy because I've washed it.
Oh, are you going to put some product in?
Maybe later.
Ooh. We're recording this on Thanksgiving, which is American Day for thank yous.
America Day. That's right. We are holding space for video games in this podcast.
What does that mean?
Oh, you don't get the meme.
Is there a meme?
Oh.
I don't use Twitter anymore.
Oh, it's a TikTok thing.
Oh.
Well, it's okay. I'll explain it. So, Wicked, Ariana Grande, and Cynthia Erivo are obviously doing loads of press interviews, and they've become meme worthy because the two of them together are ridiculous, and they're just all over each other saying just annoying, weird things. And anyway, there was an interview where this female interviewer, was chatting to them and basically was saying like people are holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
What does that mean?
Who the fuck knows what that means?
Yeah.
And they were literally like, oh my God, that's so meaningful to us. Like, thank you so much. Like, this is amazing. And like, it's ridiculous. And I think this woman was actually, the interviewer was then interviewed by Variety. And I think actually in the questioning, she had said people in queer media are holding space. When actually it was just her and a couple of mates that were just chatting about it. But the way she said it was like queer media are talking about you and holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity. Literally, it means nothing.
Oh.
Anyway, it's just become a bit of a meme now. So we're holding space for video games here.
Which publication were they from?
I can't remember.
Because you sent me some video.
There was another clip that was another interviewer who was like, oh, this is my first time doing a junket. And they were like, you were meant to be here. Thank you. You were the light of the day. Thank you for being here. You were meant to be here. It's like, she's just an interviewer, guys. Chill out.
She's probably getting paid $20K.
Well, she's from Pink News, so I doubt that.
Probably less. Yeah. Oh.
I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah. Ed used to work there.
I did.
They won't be contacting them
I was
for a
on
reference.
I was on more than 20K, I'll say that.
Yeah. Doesn't get out of bed for less than 40.
Well, I wish. I wish. Anyway, that was a silly reference. You're welcome.
Well, yeah. Have you seen Wicked yet?
No, I really want to. I have choir friends that I'm going with at some point, but we haven't planned. So we need a date. We need to sort it.
Yeah.
Because you won't go with me.
Nope. I didn't like it. The show.
Why didn't you like it?
Oh.
Now I ask you this. This is 3 years after we went when I bought you the tickets to surprise you on a date.
Yeah.
And then you threw it back in my face.
I didn't. I only told you I didn't like it like a year and a half later.
So you lied to me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I did.
You lied to me.
Oh, I always like you to keep you happy. Whatever to, keep you pleasant.
Well, it's not working, is it?
Not now, no. Now I'll give it. Now I don't care. Now I'm like, you know what?
Me? Pleasant?
Tell you the truth. No, it's too musical theatre and everyone's like, they can't just say something. They have to sing it in a really annoying way.
That is literally a musical, Ben.
No, it's annoying. It's just the type of music. I don't really like kind of American musical theatre.
That's like a lot of musical theatre.
Yeah. Good. I mean, not good, but that is the thing. Like, I've no interest in seeing Hamilton, or I didn't like the Book of Mormon. I just don't like. Apologies to American listeners. I just don't like your theatre.
Wow. Wow.
Give me something depressing and British or European or French. That'll be fine.
Only because you like Les Mis.
I do love Les Mis.
There's more to French theatre than Les Mis.
Phantom. That's French.
No.
Set in France.
It's a British composer.
French.
And a British production company, I'm pretty sure. All the people in it were British.
Well, it felt very French to me, which I appreciated.
Wow.
And Richard Hawley, the Tonight the Streets Are Ours, whatever it's called, Standing at the Sky's Edge. That was, yeah. Oh, yeah, just, that's more my thing.
I liked Wicked. I saw it when it first came to the West End with the original cast.
But it's only got like 2 good songs, if that.
What?
There's the popular song, which I quite liked. And the one where she screams, that is the most famous one.
That one?
Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
That's Defying Gravity.
Yeah.
Are you holding space for those lyrics?
If that means, am I about to fart, then yes.
No.
No, okay. Anyway, that was our musical thing. We normally have that. Although we're actually going to a musical tonight, aren't we? We're going back to the future.
Yep.
It was very cheap Black Friday deals. And we're like, you know what? Let's go and head out tonight. So
we're heading out.
we're going out. Well, not out, but we're going to go to the theatre and see Back to the Future. So yeah,
Like the classy gays that we are.
not classy. Just like, hey, let's get some cheap tickets and
Yeah, that's true.
go. I mean, Back to the Future. That's I've heard that it's really good. I heard that it's very like technologically advanced for a musical. It's quite a modern one.
Technologically advanced.
Yeah, you know about apparently
What
like
constitutes technologically advanced in a theatre?
like there's a show to it.
Is there not normally a show?
No, I heard that the Harry Potter one apparently has got like magic in it, but it's not real magic. Whereas this, I think, also uses some kind of fancy stuff.
Teleportation,
I don't know about that.
time travel.
Yeah, who knows?
We'll find out.
Anyway, games. So
Sorry, yes, we were pausing, and now we're holding space for games.
No, we won't be using that word anymore. What have
I
you been
just
up
know that it's
to
gonna
this
annoy
week? In fact, have we been like playing any games?
I don't think either. Well, I've been playing a game, but I actually can't talk about it, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a pain. No, we're trying to think if we've done anything this week, but no, not really.
We've done nothing.
No.
To that, well, I've had a weekend of playing a game, but I will talk about that next week. I mean, it's a game that's already out, but is it out in this form?
Oh, wait,
Is
is my T-shirt a hint?
No.
Isn't it? Well, it's not
I
a
mean,
hint.
it's coming to multiple places.
Oh, okay.
So, not really.
We'll see about that then.
Yes.
Have you been playing anything else? Did you stream anything?
No, I didn't stream anything, but I will be streaming. I'm going back to it. I'm going to start Sekiro. I'm going to crack on with that. The final Souls-like, or the final FromSoft game that I need to finish. So, yes, I will be getting back on that on stream, which I'm excited about, and also stressed about already, but that's fine. I played a little bit more Zelda. I've done, I think, the final dungeon, so I've now need to go to the end and do sort of end gamey bits, which I'm still enjoying it. I talked about it last week. I'm still enjoying it. It's not my favorite Zelda, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a good, fun, pleasant game to sit and play. And apart from that, I'm mainly planning game of the year, end of year gaming stuff. So I've sort of got that on my mind. So I'm doing a lot of planning rather than actually playing games at the moment. I have a lot of dragons to come. So Dragon Age Veilguard is next on my list. And I want to play some more Dragon's Dogma II, because I know you're enjoying that. So
Loving
I'm
it.
sure we'll be talking about it. And then I also have Dragon Quest III to play, which I think is going to be my Christmas game, because I suspect that won't be in the Game of the Year conversation. But I think... So I've never played a Dragon Quest game. I think I've said that on podcasts before. I've never played a Dragon Quest game. I love RPGs. I love Final Fantasy especially. But I've just never gone with Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
So that is... I'm really excited to play this one. It is a HD 2D remake of the third game, which is the first chronologically. And it's part of the Erdrick trilogy, which is 1, 2, and 3. So I'm pretty sure they are remaking 1 and 2 after this, but they will create a nice trilogy. But this is a really good place, I hear, for newcomers to start. So I think that's going to be a nice fun game at Christmas when we're hiding from family and we can sit and play some Switch. So that is my plan basically. But I also really want to play Yakuza.
It's a good game. You want to play lots of games. Often we talk about a game, you're like, oh, I really want to play it. But after being in Japan and going around all like the small streets, I've been like, oh, it's very, very realistic that game. Like
Yakuza.
It has the vibe. It sets the vibe of like what streets and areas and districts are like in those places that they're based on. So I enjoyed that. I just quickly looked at Dragon Quest 3 to see how much I'd played of it, and it says 3 minutes, but I just remembered that's because I thought, wait a minute, I've gone past the tutorial bit and stuff, but that's because my Steam Deck hasn't actually been online since our holiday. And
you played a good couple of hours, right?
Oh, fair few hours, yeah. No,
what did you think of it?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Is it your first Dragon Quest?
Yeah. I played technically Dragon Quest Builders 2 was my first one.
Sure.
And I played quite a lot of that, and that got me into Minecraft and the survival thing. So Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Dragon Quest Builders 2. If you ever get the chance to play it, I played it on Switch. It was a bit ropey, the performance, but I think it's come out on everything else now. Quite recently, actually. I think on Steam not too long ago. But it's very funny. It's very kind of easy. It's got a story, and it says where you need to place things and what you need to place and where you can get them. So instead of Minecraft being a bit like do what you want, it's very much a kind of follow the blueprint, which I really appreciated. Like there's a bit where I've mentioned it before, but there were these like big miners, and they come back from the mines every day. Big burly miners,
Ooh.
and you have to build a shower for them. And
of course you do.
And the person that's requesting it is like, yeah, put a window there. Don't ask me why. And he's a slightly effeminate, and he's like, yeah, just don't worry. We need a mirror there. We need a window there. So
I mean, we all love representation.
Oh, there's definitely gay jokes in there.
Voyeurism,
like it. Yeah, that voyeuristic representation is there. There's also a few other things as well. It's a funny game, and even if you've never played like Minecraft or even got no interest, because I didn't really have any interest or kind of understand why Minecraft was big, and then I started playing that and was like, oh, actually, it's quite nice, kind of building something from scratch, brick by brick, and yeah, it's like Lego kind of, but with a funny story.
I know that's a spin-off of the main series, but my feeling or my understanding of the main series is that it is actually quite funny, and they're quite light-hearted games. They're not as I think Final Fantasy is very cool and serious, and the world is ending, and here's lots of cool characters. I mean, it does throw weirdness at you as well, but I understand that Dragon Quest is a little bit more light-hearted and fun and silly, which is probably welcome.
Dragon Quest 11 I played a tiny bit of, and then was like, oh, this is a time sink, and I just did not have the time, so I stopped. But I should go and play that at some point.
Every game is a time sink.
Yeah, everything.
Every good game.
I think like the next Dragon Quest, a lot of people are going to get into the series. Like the next big one, Dragon Quest 12.
Well, 11 was a long while ago.
Yeah.
So I don't quite understand why 12 is taking so long.
Is it online? Did I hear something like that?
I think 10 is online.
Let me see.
So I don't know why 12 is taking so long. I mean, maybe, I don't know, like one of the stories this week, actually it was last week, and we're not really doing much news this time, but Dragon Quest is already the top selling game of the year in Japan after 3 days. It's sold millions.
I mean, the new Dragon Quest 12 was announced over 3 years ago.
Yeah, but it's still coming.
And they gave a picture.
A single picture?
That was it, a single, well, it wasn't even a picture, it was the logo.
Oh, great. Yeah, I thought it had been announced at least. So Dragon Quest absolutely prints money in Japan. And that's maybe not the same around the world. But with Square Enix, some of their games are not selling that well, or in their words, are below expectations. Just keep making Dragon Quest. Like, if it sells that well, keep making them.
Toriyama died, though, didn't he?
He did.
So I wonder if that's going to affect the game at all.
Well,
some people think it might be the end of the series, but I doubt it.
I don't know what his involvement has been, because he designed, I mean, that was our quiz question last week. He designed the original characters, but I don't know if he's been involved in the series for a long time. Surely Square Enix have enough artists that can copy that style and continue.
Apparently there were people that worked under him, so hopefully that will.
I mean, a slime isn't that difficult to draw, is it?
I think it's more than a slime. I'm sure we'll have some
being
big
facetious
Dragon Quest fans letting their feelings be known in the comments. But
sometimes the simplest designs are the most iconic.
They are, like the Cactuar, I'd say, in Final Fantasy.
Do you think that's the most iconic in Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
More than a Moogle?
Yeah.
More than a Chocobo?
Yeah.
A Cactuar?
I think a Cactuar.
Interesting.
Yeah, or Tomberry.
A Tonberry?
Yeah. What would they call it? What do you call him?
Tonberry.
Tomberry.
Tonberry.
Tonberry, yeah, that's the name of him. But yeah, the games I'm playing, speaking of Game of the Year games and long games, I've been playing on the PS5 Pro, and it's weird because they keep adding new updates. Now, in my head, the Pro's been out for a while, but it came out during Japan. It's only been out for like 2 weeks now. But games are getting updates, and I thought Gran Turismo 7's update dropped. I didn't quite understand. I mean, that game again is one of those that's just, it runs like butter anyway, but apparently the new update makes it even more buttery. There's so much to that game that they've added since it was released, and I didn't realize. And now now I go back to it and go, oh crap, there's like a whole extra, like the game's doubled. Like the number
Did
of...
you finish it at the time?
Yeah, so I finished all of the menus that you get, and I think there were like, God, I don't know, 40, let's say, menus, which is just like, get this in this race and complete the menu, and then you'll get some cars. And then I went to it, and it's like, to do your weekly quests, you have to do these 5 things. And one of them is like, you have to do this race that you unlock at menu level 60. And I'm like, what the hell? That's like hours and hours and hours of main questing away. So I couldn't even go and do that weekly quest. But yeah, it's...
So you need to catch up.
I do, and I will go back to it because I really like Gran Turismo. It is a beautiful game, and I'd love to try it in VR because everybody says that VR is fantastic. Well, I don't know. The amount of good things that people say about that game in VR makes me think that it's going to be better than my experience with Drive Club in VR, which was just a vom fest because that was messy.
Yeah, I mean...
That was PSVR 1 as well, so I think the quality was worse, but I might give that a go.
I know I've played Wipeout in VR, and that is an absolute vom fest.
What, you're inside the thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never thought of Wipeout first person. Or maybe not like inside a cockpit.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Like high speed loops and twists, it's too much.
Unfortunately, you don't have that in Gran Turismo.
Yeah. So it's probably not as vommy, but I don't know.
I wonder if Forza Horizon comes to PlayStation, if they'll put VR support in there. With all the jumps,
I mean,
the skids and the crashes.
Xbox bringing Xbox games to PS5 is them trying to make money, but are they going to go that far for VR that no one's buying?
Well, probably not because there's no VR support on the PC version of it. So, but you never know. Someone will mod. Well, actually, no, they're not on PlayStation. But yeah, we'll see. But the 2 games, I've been playing 2 games on the Pro, and the first one I'll talk about is No Man's Sky. I've gone back to that after, when was it out? When did it come out, actually? There's a quiz question. What year? You've got 10 seconds to tell me the year.
Oh, God.
What year did No Man's Sky come out?
It was PS4 originally. I'm going to say 2016.
The year was 2016.
Yeah!
8 years ago.
What a guess.
8 years ago. So yeah, that is 8 years ago, and it's like a different game now. Like genuinely, I don't recognize it from when I played it first. I remember just going to the odd planets, and they looked a bit meh. I love the idea, and I got lost for about 8 or 9 hours, just kind of wandering around and doing a bit of digging and a bit of mining, and going to the next place. And there was like a story, but like the main story was kind of what people did, I think. I mean, you could just stay around and just goof around and dig and that, or you could just go along with the main story. But now they've got bases, you've got animals that you can feed. There's loads of missions. They have daily missions. I got taken into one random spaceship or space station that was like run by aliens or whatever. And there were real people running around. Like, what the hell? I had no idea that they had actual in-person... there's my work thing going. I didn't realize that they had actual people in the game that you could see. A little bit like... In fact, it's very much like the original Destiny. I don't know if you played the original Destiny, but
I did.
When you go to a hub and there are other people running around doing stuff, it was like that. And you can invite people to parties. And there are multiplayer missions that you can do and other single player ones that you can take on. And there's loads of cosmetics. So your ship can have a kind of rainbow tail or glitter or whatever. And there's loads to that game and lots of kind of side missions that are popping up. And I'm not finding a huge need to go and continue on the main story because I'm just enjoying kind of exploring and building my ship and trying to make money because there are some things that are very expensive. And yeah, I'm just having a really, really good time getting lost in it. But I mean, the PS5 Pro, it is stunning, that game. That game is really, really pretty. I've been taking a bunch of screenshots, which I don't think I ever did before, just as Before I might have been like, oh, this is cool. Look, it's a different planet. Whereas now I'm like, oh wow, there's beautiful vistas with kind of a bit of mist and glowing from all like these plants that are popping up at night. It's like with my own base. I don't know. It's stunning. One of my favorite things, the coziest things I found was I built a base and then I had like a kind of a walkway away from the base and then this big glass dome. And then when there's a storm, because the planet where I've made my base, there's quite a few storms. So whenever there's a storm, I go in there and then go into the giant glass dome, and you can just kind of see the storm happening and attacking, but you're nice and warm and safe inside.
Oh,
Very nice.
that's nice. I think one of the things that impresses me the most about No Man's Sky, like you say, it was 8 years ago, and it's the fact that when it launched, it wasn't particularly well received because it was lacking in content and whatever else. And it's been given the chance to succeed by updates to the point where now, like you say, it's a completely different game almost. And it's just, I don't know, it's a sort of wider industry point. I just think it's interesting that some games like that are given the chance to grow and succeed, even if at first they don't do very well for whatever reason. Whereas other times at the moment, it's like if we don't get instant success with a game, a developer's like, yeah, we're pulling the plug, like with Concord or whatever else. Anthem and, you know, other
Anthem
sorts
had
of...
room to grow. I'm sure Anthem could have been salvaged and people would have loved it and like flocked to it. But I don't know. I think working on No Man's Skies may be a lot cheaper than working on something as big as Anthem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it all comes down to money and what's doable and if it's feasible financially to work on a game for however long without doing anything else. But it's the fact that it's basically an indie developer, right? No Man's Sky.
Well, what's his name again? Sean Murray?
Warren. Oh,
Sean
Sean Murray. And yet it's the big companies with the like your Sonys and EAs with these big games that then don't immediately recoup however much money that just get cancelled instantly.
Yeah. But then there's 14, which is Final Fantasy 14, which ended up being reborn.
Exactly. Like it, you know, I mean, I don't want to witter on about the Game Awards, but there is an award for ongoing game, and it's just, it shows that games can have longevity when you make the effort to make them ongoing and don't just release a product immediately and expect money back. And sometimes that can bring long-term success.
And there's a difference as well between ongoing and, hey, let's release a paid thing every 3 months, like in Destiny.
My question for you though, as a result of all that in No Man's Sky, there's so much extra content and there's so much new stuff in it. How welcoming to newcomers is that? Because we had a similar thing with Destiny, as you just mentioned, where if you join new, it's like you've missed loads of stuff and it's really hard to get into. But does No Man's Sky sort of, I hate the word onboarding, but does it explain itself to you and allow newcomers in?
I feel better. Yeah, I think it's better because I remember being confused when it first came out of what to do. Whereas now it's very clear what you're doing, where you're going, which is a main quest, which is a side quest. And yeah, no, they've added loads of stuff, but it's not rushing you. Okay. You can follow the missions if you want to, but it's still, because I started from the very beginning, but it's still very much, hey, these are the missions, but also if you want to upgrade this, you need to get all of these things, and you can kind of work out where to get them. And there's Google around if you need to work out, like, hey, how do I get magnetized sodium or something? And it's like, go on Google.
It sounds quite sciencey.
I don't think you don't need to know any science. You might need to know like some of the chemical symbols if you're looking for things. Do you know what sodium is?
Salt.
You know the chemical symbol for sodium?
I want to say Na.
Very good. Oxygen?
O2.
No. It's O. Is it O or O2?
O2.
What's O?
I don't know.
Oxygen. I think it's just two parts of oxygen.
Well, yeah, it's just there are two atoms. Maybe.
Isn't O2
I don't
dioxide?
know. I got an A star at GCSE math science, but I
don't even know what it is.
No, at GCSE I don't remember any of it. That was 20 years ago.
Wait, O or lots of people have been googling this apparently. Oxygen is represented by the symbol O when it's an atom, O2 when it's a molecule, and the molecule is often known as dioxygen. So di.
Oxygen.
Right. That was No Man's Sky.
We're not doing a science quiz this
No.
week.
Oh
to be
yeah,
clear.
let's do that. at
No,
the
let's
end.
not do that.
But I will be probably talking about that in the future, because it is one of those games as well that's just like, I've got half an hour. I might just pick it up and goof around, do a little bit of mining. It's what I think a lot of people do with Minecraft is what I'm... But it's like Minecraft, except because you can do loads of building. You can do terraforming.
Minecraft, but it's in space and it actually looks good.
I was about to say, it looks really, really good. And you can go to like a random... You can eventually, build your... You can go literally anywhere and you can land on a planet and make it your own and upload it, rename it and upload it and go and take photographs and analyze all the fauna and flora, which I didn't realize fauna was animals.
Yes.
I just never used that
Flora
word.
is plants.
I know flora is plants, but I didn't know what fauna was. I just thought it
Have
was...
you not heard the phrase flora and fauna?
Yeah, but I thought it was just maybe that was plants and fauna were trees or something. I don't know.
Trees are plants.
Yeah, but they're not, though, are you?
But they are,
if you
though,
don't
aren't
say,
they?
hey, go and get me a plant from the garden centre, and you come back with a fucking oak tree, I might be like, that's not a plant.
Well, you can't buy oak trees at the garden centre, but you can buy trees that you will plant in your garden. So trees are plants.
Are trees plants, though?
Yes.
Are
Like, categorically, yes.
are they, though? But, like, if I said...
How do you put them in the ground? You plant them.
You plant your ass on there, and not your ass isn't a plant, even though it smells like manure.
Oh, please.
So that was, well, it was a thing that I'd never used before because I hated biology. It was my worst subject because the person who was my biology teacher didn't believe in aerosols, which I did agree with him about, but also he didn't agree with any deodorant. And so he absolutely stunk. And then he died. So yeah.
Wow. Well, on that story...
We also got very upset because we put a slice of potato on his laptop trackpad, which he claimed would cause the enzymes were going to cause loads of issues on his trackpad. And I'm like, no, they're not.
He was just using big words to put you off.
Yeah.
See, my science teacher didn't... Well,
I suppose if, as a teacher, if somebody put up a slice of potato on my laptop, I might be a bit annoyed.
I mean, I would genuinely be annoyed, but not because of enzymes.
No.
Because it's
dirty
potato. Yeah, I had two science teachers at GCSE.
Wait, 3.
One of them didn't... See, I needed double. I didn't do separate.
I did all separate. That's why I got my A star in physics and then B in chemistry and a C in physics. In biology.
See, you just do double and then it just mixes them together and then you just get 2 A stars.
I don't know if that would have worked for me, but yes. I remember being really stuck in the physics exam and because I couldn't remember F equals ma.
I don't even remember what that is.
Equals mass times
Energy?
acceleration.
Oh.
And no, but I remembered that about 20 minutes from the end and then went back and filled in loads of answers and then got my A star. And I was like, if I hadn't had that little brainwave 10 minutes from the end and I still remember it, I would have probably got like a B.
Oh. Yeah, we had 2 teachers. One of them didn't have a sense of smell, so we used to leave the gas on. Which is probably not ideal.
No.
And the other one, I think, was Mr. Turner, who we had, I don't know, it was the year where we had to have injections for something. And I don't do well with injections. So I had it and thought I was all right and then went back to science class. But we were sat on stools, like at your sort of pod.
Yeah. We had stools as well.
Yeah,
and the little
stools and pods.
gas things turned on. Yeah.
And so I was sat there like making notes and just was like, I do not feel well. And one of my friends on the table was like, sir, it doesn't look very well. And he came running over and I basically like fainted off the stool into his arms.
Was he attractive?
No.
Oh.
But I'd gone like bright green, like green, white, pale, awful because of the injection. And I just fainted.
Why?
Because I don't deal well with injections.
But like, I thought it's just looking at them you don't like and the feeling. I didn't realize you actually faint afterwards.
Well, I think it is that feeling, but that had continued for the next 20 minutes by the time I'd gone back to class. And at this point, not everyone had had the injection. So everyone was like, oh my God, Ed's going to die. We're all going to die if we have the injection. And everyone started panicking. And I was just having a little faint in the corner. And for the rest of the year, he then called me the Jolly Green Giant, which was funny because I was not tall.
I was going to say, I've been called that more times than you deserve.
I was green, but I was not a giant.
We had a very small, round, Welsh chemistry teacher with a massive mustache, and he used to, the people used to call him Mario, and he had a little
obviously.
Mario head on top of his desk, and he was also a bit of a weirdo. I think he was
he's a science teacher.
I think he was a nonce. But he used to he had pictures of all of the people with their names so he could remember them, but all the girls' ones used to always be at the front.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he was like in his 60s.
Oh no.
And he was very, very kind of,
No, don't tell me that's bad.
Not a great person.
Anyway, this is a video game podcast.
Yeah, so science. Then the
You were
other
playing
game
something else?
I played, so I mean, No Man's
Let's move
Sky.
on.
I probably won't be talking about it as much as I am doing, but I'll be, it's my kind of, I've got 15 minutes to half an hour to just kind of sit back. The other one is Dragon's Dogma 2. And I am really loving that game. That is one that I played when it first came out. I played it on PC. Loved what I played. I played quite a bit, actually, more than I realized. And then I realized I was like kind of sat at my PC. Well, it doesn't work on the Steam Deck. It like literally does not work. It's terrible. And I think I played a little bit of the like playing on the cloud on my Steam Deck, and it was all right. But then I kind of dropped off it because I don't particularly like playing games at my PC. Because if I'm sat here at the computer, it feels a bit like work, and the chair's not the most comfortable. If Herman Miller are watching,
Two,
feel free.
please.
2, please.
2 Herman Miller chairs,
Aarons.
please.
I'm a
Thank
type
you.
C. He's a type B.
Am I?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
you're not that thick.
Wow. Maybe I
Um,
like a big chair to sit in.
no, you don't want... Like, this chair's the XL Omega, and it's a bit too... I don't like sliding around in a chair. Like this one, I can slide left and right.
You want to be secure.
Yeah, but no, I want an air run. I want like an office chair because they're better than gaming chairs. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Dragon's Dogma 2. I fell off it and I was like, okay, well, I didn't want to go and play it on the PlayStation because I heard that it ran really badly when it first came out, and it did. It was like 30 FPS and then went
That's how
lower.
I played it.
Well, it went lower than 30 FPS in the main town. And when the Pro came out, a lot of people said, oh, it's 60 FPS kind of pretty much locked on performance mode. It does all these great things. And so I switched over and yeah, lo and behold, it does play really, really well. I've had like a couple of, like recently I went and teleported back to the busy town and it was a bit juddery, but I don't know if that's a memory thing and I just needed to close the game and start it again, or if there was something else happening. But I've been in there like running around in the main busy town with the rain going on. Also, there were some weird issues. I teleported back to the main town after being away for a while, and there were some lizards in there attacking people that I had to...
Uh-oh.
And then I turned around and there's a freaking dragon. I'd
In
not
the
even
town?
seen a dragon before. There was a dragon in the entrance. Like
Oh,
it
dear.
got through the thing, and I'm like, what the hell? But I was about, like, my health was really low, so I went to sleep. And the next morning...
And slept through it.
Yeah, and the next morning it had gone. So...
Someone got rid of it.
Exactly. It had gone eventually. I really, really like that game. It just feels like a very authentic, like real gritty RPG simulator.
Okay, that's a lot of words.
Yes. It just feels, there is magic, but it also feels a kind of realistic. It's like a medieval kind of, I don't know. It's weird. It reminds me a little bit of like The Witcher in that it's kind of medieval focused, and you can use a sword and you can use a bow and arrow and all that, but there also is magic that you can have, but it's not like, it doesn't feel completely over-reliant on that. And there are griffins and there are dragons apparently now. And I don't know, everything that it doesn't feel like some kind of weird, obscure fantasy land. Everything feels just like a good old medieval fantasy, gritty, dirty sex.
See, what you're describing is why I didn't like the first Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, so don't play this one then.
Well, no, as in I like my fantasy to be fantasy. I like it to be magical. I don't want it to look like the real world. I want it to look weird and twisted, which is why I like Elden Ring and why I like Final Fantasy games, because they are, I suppose because they're made in Japan, maybe there's a different standard of fantasy, but to me it seems very different. And
thing is, this place you could remove every single character, NPC, animal, everything from it, and have a setting of some kind of medieval simulator. Like it doesn't. There's nothing in that world that feels kind of foreign.
Yeah.
Or otherworldly.
And that's part of the reason why I got bored with the first game.
I like it.
But also, my understanding of the second game is that it's almost a remake of the first one, but it's achieving what the first game wanted to. I think the first game was sort of a bit ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the sort of gameplay unfolding and unraveling, can't remember the emergent gameplay, that's the one. I think it's finally achieving what they wanted to do in the first game, and that's why I did enjoy what I played of the second one, and I want to give it more of a chance.
No, you should do. And I know some people have compared it to Elden Ring in certain ways, and I definitely see that when it comes to kind of exploring. Obviously, it's not as diverse and as, intricate as Elden Ring, but like I was just walking from one place to another, and a person came up and was like, "Oh, there's a hideout near here, and these people are terrorizing them." And I just was like, I'm busy anyway. And I kept walking, and then somebody saw me and ran off. So I chased after them, and they went into this cave, and there was this massive open area inside this cave of like different levels, and it was obviously a big hideout for this gang, and they were a way higher level than I could fight. So I died quickly and then left, and it was a bit of a pain. But there are lots of things that you can kind of just wander into and explore. I'm further now than where I got to before. I've got to like the second kind of big city in Batal.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it's called like Akbatal or somewhere like that. So it's a very kind of desert. It reminds me very much of the one in Breath of the Wild, the place where the desert.
Gerudo Desert?
Garuda Town. Is it Garuda Town?
Gerudo Town.
Gerudo Town. It feels a little bit like that. It's very inspired kind of Middle East or Northern Africa and like Saharan. And I very much like it. I've only just arrived there. However, I made a bit of a boob.
Oh no.
So teleport, that's another thing I really like about open world RPGs is when they don't allow easy fast travel. And it generally makes the world feel so much bigger. And did you say that the Dragon's Dogma 2 creator said that?
Yes, specifically they talked ahead of release. They talked about fast travel.
Oh yes,
and
I remember.
How they didn't want it to be easy because that makes the world feel smaller. So they want you to travel and they want you to go on a journey.
Yeah,
and then stuff happens on the journey. That's why even when you fast travel, you get attacked or by griffins and things. Like they want the world to feel alive on that journey.
Yeah, I mean you don't get attacked when you fast travel, but you take. I know what you mean. You take the ox carts from town to town if you want to go somewhere cheaply. Because to go from town to town, like if I want to go from the starting city to the city where I've got to now, I have to take an ox cart to a checkpoint, which cost me 200 gold. And then I have to go to the other side of the checkpoint and then take another ox cart to the other town. And yeah, you can get attacked. And quite often, this has happened to me twice in the last 4 trips. A giant ogre or a cyclops or whatever has attacked and destroyed the ox cart, and then I've had to run the rest of the time.
That's annoying.
And sometimes it's the middle of the night when there are lots of enemies, so but then that's been part of the trip.
Yeah.
But each of those ox cart trips was 200. However, you have ferry
Gold.
stone, 200 gold. Sorry,
Yeah.
what did I say?
Just 200?
200.
Could have been 200 anything.
Well, G's they're called.
Okay.
But you can also use a ferry stone. So a ferry stone, if you have activated a special ferry thing, I don't know.
Waypoint?
No, but a thing that allows
A ferry thing.
a ferry thing that you can fast
I
travel
hope you're
to.
all taking notes at home. A
If
ferry
you've
thing.
unlocked one of those, you can fast travel to it with a ferry stone. But the ferry stone, you get them from doing missions, but they're not high in abundance, and I don't have any now. But you can buy them once per in-game 2 days, and they cost 10,000 gold. So way more than just traveling on ox cart. And sometimes you'll get a stone or you'll get something really valuable. And money is really hard to get in this game. But sometimes you'll get something very valuable that is worth a lot more if you sell it in a different area. So it's like, do I really, for 2,000 gold, do I really want to get into an ox cart and take it, halfway across the map and spend like 20 minutes just to sell this one stone? But then again, that's like in reality, and that's why I quite like the fact that it's not easy to kind of fast travel. That's the kind of decision that you have to make. And yeah, money is quite scarce, and when you go to a new town or something that's got new weapons and new armor, if you want the latest stuff from the shop there, you have to kind of grind. You have to earn a lot of money, which I find a kind of cheaty way to do, but it's still time consuming.
just going back to your Elden Ring comparison, I
Mm.
think that is interesting, and I think it's something that we are seeing a bit of a resurgence of now
Mm.
in games, is that more old school mentality of not actually explaining everything. And I think we've gone through years and years of game development where everything's been streamlined to the point now where you play a game and it's like, oh, here is your mission, follow the big yellow dot, go here, do that, and
They want to show
you
off
don't
how
have to
much they've
think.
got.
Yeah, and I appreciate that there's an element of game development is expensive, and if we've put the effort into doing something, we want to make sure everybody sees it. So we're going to funnel you in that direction so that you see it. And I think this is something that, not to go on about Dark Souls, but it's one of the things Dark Souls brought back that has influenced loads of games, is this idea of trusting the player and giving you hints and saying, go explore and do what you want and enjoy it, and we're not going to tell you what to do. And that's something that then you've seen in all the other Souls games. It's something you've seen in Breath of the Wild, where you get quests, but it's not go here, do that. It's trusting the player to explore and find things out. The game I'm playing at the moment also has that, where you've got the world to explore and there's a quest log, but it trusts you to talk to people and make connections yourself and understand how the world is and what it wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like Dragon's Dogma is similar in that it will trust you to just explore and find things out, and then you get that sense of discovery
Yeah.
that a lot of games miss.
Yeah, I don't think any of my missions that I've got that aren't obviously the main mission, I've like gone to somewhere to find. Like I've literally just walked up. But you'll walk up to a place and then someone will grab you and they'll position themselves on roads that you're going to be walking on. So,
Yeah.
But there is a lot
it's
of
all
that.
pre-planned,
Of
but it
course
makes
that.
it feel like you've stumbled upon it.
And they do that quite a lot in there. And I think that's a good thing because I think they're starting to realize that kind of stumbling upon these things, and like it's been like this forever with games, but like stumbling upon them makes you feel like is much more enjoyable than, hey, there's a quest over there. There's a question mark in that area. Go over there and see what the quest is. Because then if you go and stumble across something, then you've got someone to talk. You can talk to your friend and be like, hey, have you got to that bit? Did you get this weird thing?
Yep.
And you're like, no, I didn't. What is it? Oh, and that adds a lot more than like, hey, did you do this quest that was over here? Just go to the question mark and and start it. So
Because then a game just becomes, open world games especially, I think, are guilty of this, of just becoming a checklist, and you just look at the map and go, right, well, I'm going to go to every question mark and do all this, and it's just follow the things around.
Sometimes it is a bit too obscure. Like there was there was a boy that had gone missing, and they were like, oh yeah, he loves the color, he loves these. Yeah, you have to ask around the town about him going missing, and a couple of people have said like, oh, he's obsessed with these blue flowers. And then the quest marker kind of directs you to this massive patch of blue flowers, and so you get there and you're like, well, I don't know where he is, and I was like, I had no idea, and I'd like to finish it before the end of the year, although I don't know how likely that is, and although I don't know how far I am, I think I'm about halfway, maybe just less, and so I looked on Reddit, and a lot of people were saying that they had problems as well. And it's because after that, you then follow the trail of blue flowers. But the trail is like 3 flowers every kind of 100 meters. And so it's a real pain to find. When you get a bit closer to where you need to go, there are a few more. But like, it doesn't explain that you need to follow the flowers. But if you'd been paying a lot of attention to this text before, you might have kind of like picked up on that.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I'm like, oh, he likes flowers. Okay, well, whatever. I didn't really pay too much attention. So sometimes it's a bit, it's not handholdy to the point of like you're a bit confused and not sure what to do. So because somebody else was like, oh yeah, I found it just by stumbling across the cave because I found this cave and walked into it, and there was a boy. So it's a really, really fun game. I would love to sit.
Play it.
Yeah, I would love to sit and play it for kind of 60, 70 hours and just explore it and take it at my own time. But there are loads of other games I want to play, so I'd quite like to just experience the main story. I'm playing it on normal mode, not on easy for once. And yeah, the challenge is fun. Like getting to that back Batal place, the first time I didn't go by ox cart because I actually didn't realize I could go that way. So I walked it, and it took me about 5 attempts to get to there, like because I was being killed by things or I was poisoned, but none of my companions had something that could cure poison, and I didn't have a thing on me because I'd just been like selling everything because it gets too heavy. And I remember getting a bit too close to death a few times, but eventually got there.
Yeah.
And it's great because then when you do get there and you go to the inn and you rest and you wake up with a whole full health bar, because when you die in that game, or if you get if you die, if you get attacked, it kind of takes down your health bar permanently, and you can only regain that fully when you sleep. So like going then to sleep and waking up with a fresh health bar and knowing that everybody else, all your pawns and your companion or whatever are like all healthy and up to normal. Then yeah, that is a great way. It just feels great, and it's something that you don't get in like an Assassin's Creed. Not to compare all the time, but
Yeah.
you don't get that kind of feeling of, wow, I've just been on an epic adventure, and by the skin of my teeth, we've made it to this amazing town.
Yeah. I really want to play it for that reason, because I think it seems like it's really good at doing that. I'm going to play Dragon Age first, because Dragon Age is, I think...
But you've not played the original
Of what?
Dragon Age, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
I played Origins and I played Inquisition, and I am not a big fan of either of them.
Great.
Partly because for me, Dragon Age, just the world didn't interest me as much as other games. And also I'm a big fan of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just Mass Effect with dragons. And I know that that's a massive sweeping statement and is diminishing a lot of the work in it.
Yeah.
But for me, I loved Mass Effect, and Dragon Age has just never compared.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play that first because A, I'm intrigued. B, I think it's more directed in comparison to what we were saying. So I think it's the kind of game you can probably tick off a bit quicker. Whereas Dragon Age, as you say, you want to really immerse yourself and take your time and explore, and it becomes a little bit more long-winded to play through. And it means when we get to end of the year,
you'll be able to talk about it.
I can talk about Dragon Age, you can talk about Dragon's Dogma, and at least then we've ticked off both games.
Indeed. Right. Let's take a little break. Right, and we're back. Right, well, we're going out tonight, so this is why the podcast is a little bit shorter.
Yes, we've got shit to do. But we're going to jump in with what you lot have been playing. You lot at home. The listeners and viewers. And we start off with Dan Law, who has been playing Dragon Age the Veilguard before I've had a chance to get into it. He says, really enjoyed my time with it, liked the lore uncovered and set up for what's next. Performances are excellent. I had Alex Jordan voice my Rook, and he knocked it out of the park.
I will as well.
I think I will as well.
One day.
Some great Easter eggs for long-time fans of the series. Don't know if it's due to the art style, but the lack of animation in the face sometimes detracts from performances. Combat is fun, but would have benefited from a few more animations itself for finishers. Biggest gripe, it feels like it shies away from darker themes. Some character interactions seem pointless and could easily have been expanded upon. Writing, whilst good, doesn't meet the higher standard BioWare have set in the past. I'm in my Alex Jordan era, it seems, having moved on to Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 since. Towards the tail end, and I'm enjoying the open world structure, disguise system, and overall mystery of it all. Highlight is the banter with John and how he appears randomly in a similar way to Johnny in Cyberpunk. Have you played Sherlock Holmes, didn't you? Or one of them?
It was like I wonder if it is that one I played.
Chapter 1.
A little bit of it, and it seemed quite interesting. Yeah, I just played it because I don't know why. I think I must be given a code and played it for a bit and was like, oh, this seems interesting, but never went back to it. But no, I need to get through Cyberpunk as well. I wonder what that's like on the Pro, because it's not had an update. But I wonder, because I wanted to play it on PlayStation so I can kind of just sit back and chill like I'm doing with Dragon's Dogma 2.
I'm pretty sure CD Projekt have said they're not updating it.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
But I'm sure it probably is better, at the least. Naturally.
Unless it's got a locked... Yeah, maybe it's a bit more of a stable frame rate.
You'll have to test it. Clues says, thanks to Pokemon TCG Mobile being incredibly unbalanced, cough, Starmie X or Pikachu X, cough. I don't use those.
I never do battles. I do it I did it just to complete like the basic stuff, but I just like opening cards.
They're good for experience.
I got 2 brand new fantastic cards today.
Oh, well, lucky you.
I got a Nido Queen. And just before then, I got what was the one I showed you?
You got Charizard.
Yes, a shiny Charizard, which was beautiful.
Lucky you. Anyway, due to that imbalance, Clues finally decided to see what Ben's fuss is about. Marvel Snap.
Yeah, I'm a fussy person.
I don't know what you've written here, but
I can read it. My
No,
old job was reading terrible English.
What the fuss is about, according to Ben, is what he means. As a lifetime TCG player, the card mechanics of Snap...
So we're not going to criticize anybody's grammar, because otherwise we're not putting people off by
No,
by
please.
typos.
I'm just taking the piss because I'm stumbling over the words as I read them.
Should have read them before.
The mechanics of Snap are extremely elegant, simple, efficient, yet incredibly variable. No card is overpowered. No strategy is domineering. New cards you encounter are not sure wins. That is an elegant card game, and it is incredibly satisfying to play.
Yeah, there are definitely ones that like the metas, but the metas are always changing, and the metas are always changing, and when they do that, they kind of just nerf cards that you're enjoying a lot. Like there was one, the Galactica.
Yeah.
If you use Galactica, which you could like on the final one, it would like destroy the other locations, and like you could use that kind of at the end, and I like went really far into the rankings using Galactica and like some other Carnage and Venom and these other kind of destructive cards. And then I think they nerfed it 2 or 3 times to try and make it like so you can hardly ever use it. But that's good because now if I do like to use it, you can only use it in very specific situations, but people are not expecting it. Whereas before, you could quite easily tell when somebody was about to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they tend to. That's the only thing that kind of annoys me is when they nerf popular cards. But I guess that's part of kind of keeping it balanced. But yeah, when a new card comes and it seems quite cool, and that's like a bit of a meta, use it as much as possible because just around the corner they'll be like, actually,
they'll soon screw it up for you.
Yeah, but also Google really helps with like finding out what cards people are liking. Like I got a Patriot deck that is a really good one and is used quite often, but to be honest, it's a bit boring.
It's boring winning so often.
No, because you're just doing the same thing and you're just waiting for the same stuff, and then the second it doesn't happen, you back out, and it gets a bit samey. But
don't back out.
No, I quite like having a bit of a like my own personal just higgledy-piggledy set of cards that kind of don't really necessarily bounce off each other, but then the person you're playing against has no idea what's coming next, and you can surprise them with that.
We love a surprise.
Now I want to download Marvel Snap again.
Don't do it.
No, I've downloaded after it.
I don't know. It's
After Ink.
Yes, it's the developer that made Plague Inc., which got really popular in the pandemic for obvious reasons because it's all about developing a plague. And he's now created a game that is the opposite, where you then have to recover after a plague, which looks good.
But there still might be zombies around.
Ooh. Gemma has an answer this week, which we love. I've been playing lots of Super Mario Jamboree with Liz, and it's lots of fun. Like other Mario Party games, it's not very deep. It's just a board game on a video game with mini-games in each round that use the motion control capabilities of the Joy-Cons to make them a bit more active. Some of the games are more fun than others, but overall, it's a good time. I wish there was a bit more customization with how many rounds you play, but I understand there are game mechanic reasons for those limitations. I haven't ventured into any of the other elements of the game, like just playing the mini-games or anything with earned points, but it does feel like there's more than just the board games to do. Nintendo prices are steep, so I'd make sure it's something you'll be able to get some use out of because there's not hours of story to develop or a world to get lost in. Ultimately, I think it's fun if you have people to play with. I wouldn't want to play it with just the CPU opponents, and I think the fun is in the chaos and competitions with friends.
Yes, and we will be playing some Supermarket Jamboree. Supermarket Sweep Jamboree. Super Mario Party, is that it?
Yeah.
Super Mario Party Jamboree, when we get it very soon, over Christmas with mods. Not mods in mods, but with moderators from the channel. So it'll be Super Modio Party.
It's going to be carnage is what it's going to be.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, we have Chaddy, who says a mixed bag again this week. And I think by mixed bag, he means a mixture of games as opposed to good and bad, because I think they're all quite good here. More Fortnite. I think this is the first Battle Pass I've ever completed. I think it was only a short one this time and lasts a month. There's a Godzilla campaign coming next.
Oh, don't tell Glinsky.
Yeah, look out for that. I finally bought myself a Switch OLED. Congrats. And I'm very excited by the prospect of playing both docked and on the go. It came with Mario Wonder, so I've played a little bit of that. Not enough to comment yet. Keep us posted on what you're playing. And if you want suggestions, then let us know. I also bought Balatro, of which I'm now addicted. The premise is simple, but the just one more run is strong with this one, and I can see why others have loved it a lot. I'm hoping having the Switch means I can get through more games with it having the portability option. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, Balatcho's amazing. Another great mobile game. I need to always have a battery pack with my phone, I think, nowadays, with all the games are on
Or
it.
just get a new phone.
Have you seen the price?
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Right. Well, that was what you've been playing. And we're going to finish up with the quiz.
Oh, dear. Here we go.
Right.
Right. What
But
was my last week was 2, was it, or 1?
I mean, he didn't do great, and I did make it easier.
Yeah, but you gave me difficult questions. You, as long as there aren't any questions that are like, name 7 types of potion in the Dark Souls 2 DLC.
Well, I know you haven't played that, so I wouldn't ask you that.
But also, I don't need 7 types of potion. We need 1 answer per question.
He's getting fussy with his quiz questions.
I'm not. I understand. Yeah, we don't have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire where it's like tick all applicable.
Honestly, never happy. Well, we're switching it up this week because it's been a bit of a quiet news week. So I thought rather than the news, let's use what was in the news fairly recently.
Is it a quiet news week?
Well, it's a new thing. It launched just before we went to Japan.
Pokemon
And that is,
trading card game.
no,
Oh.
that is the Nintendo Music app. That's right. We are doing a music quiz.
Oh, you've been dying for this, haven't you?
I love a music quiz. So I'm going to play 5 tracks. You're going to get 10 seconds of each.
All right. Well, that's going to be
The first,
screwing me up
the
on
first,
YouTube.
The first 10 seconds. Oh, are you?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I can cut it to 5 of each if you prefer.
No, we'll go for 6 seconds.
6 seconds. Okay, you're going to get 6 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think
of
we
each
need
of
any
these.
more. Yeah.
They are all on the Nintendo app, which means they're all from famous Nintendo games. And I would like specifically the name of the game.
Okay.
So I don't just want it's Mario. Like it needs to be the actual game.
Oh God.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Well,
Number 1.
Mario.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay, I know this one. It is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Correct.
Oh ho ho!
We're doing it one by one in that case.
Ka-ching! Okay, yeah. yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Because this isn't a traditional quiz.
All right.
I will not be writing anything down.
There we go. Well, give people at home a chance to.
Oh, sorry, yes.
You know.
Okay,
to
maybe we
question.
will write it down. I've got my little
Oh, here we
Final
go.
Fantasy 14 notebook
Well, yeah.
and your pen that I stole.
Wow.
Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. Last time I got 2 last time. Well, no, I didn't really, because I got Leveilleur, but then only Vaporeon and Flareon. I still don't know what the other ones are. Right. Okay. Number 1 is definitely Mario Kart.
Okay, that was
8
Mario Kart
Deluxe.
8. Congrats. Okay.
That was the test.
Yeah. Well, I started with an easy one.
Oh God.
I mean, I think they're all quite easy, but
Because you're a nerd.
because I am a nerd. Okay.
And you watch random kind of theologists talking about whatever they're called, like
Theologists.
musicologist. Is that the thing actually? Isn't it?
Musicology is a thing. Yes.
Get a job. Get a real job. Like making YouTube videos.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Losers. Anyway.
Right.
It's rather insulting.
Track number 2. Remember, you're getting 6 seconds. Okay. Don't
Okay.
look at the
I
phone.
wouldn't look at the phone.
Okay. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely no fucking idea, but I'll guess. Right?
You can guess the game.
Yes, that's what I've done.
Okay. Track number 3.
Okay.
I feel like that might have been a bit of a trick.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Track number 4. You
They're
ready?
all tricks, yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, track number 5.
Okay.
That was actually a little easy if you play more, but you only wanted 6 seconds. So
Okay.
there we go. Do you want any again?
No, I think I'll get 0 anyway. Well, no, I've got 1.
You've got one.
Right.
Okay, so number 1, as you said, was Mario Kart 8.
Yes.
Track 2, what is your guess?
Well, are you going to play it again?
Okay, I'll play it
Yeah.
again.
Oh, I'm going to change my guess,
Oh, okay.
but I still might be wrong.
Okay.
I'm going to go for Splatoon
Correct, but which one?
3.
Yes.
Yes! I wrote Wii Sports.
Oh. Yeah, I bought. You might not recognize the track specifically, but that style
definitely
is so
recognise.
Splatoony.
Yeah.
Okay, track number 3.
Wow. Okay. So I'm getting kind of tropical vibes to the sea, so I went with... Wait, play it again. Can I ask a yes or no question first?
I guess so.
Is it a Zelda game?
Well, that gives it away, doesn't it?
But I've written a Zelda game.
Well, tell me what a Zelda game is, and I'll tell you if it's right.
Wind Waker?
No,
Is it a Zelda game?
it is.
Oh, I don't know then.
Breath of the Wild.
No, it's not.
That is Breath of the Wild.
Don't think it's so though. I think they also use the song in Wind Waker, so I'm going to give myself the answer.
To be fair, you're correct. It's the
Island.
the music from Lurelin Village, which is the sort of tropically bit.
And that is Wind Waker.
That I think you'll find is Breath of the Wild.
I think the graphics there look
I
very
think you'll find
self-shaded.
that's Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
My thinking is
fine.
that it sounds a bit Animal Crossing-y.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a trick of will you think it's Animal Crossing? But I went with Breath
tricking me
of
is
the Wild.
helping. All right.
Okay. Question 4. Track 4.
And then Animal Crossing.
Which one? I mean, there's only one on the app.
Oh, New Horizons.
Yes.
Good.
That is the airport lobby music.
Is it though?
Yes, it says Dodo on the picture.
Oh, at the
So,
beginning.
Yeah. Because I wanted to do an
No,
Animal
that's that's the direct feed version.
Sure. It says airport lobby. I was trying to go for an Animal Crossing one that is not obvious.
Great.
Right.
Thank you for tricking me. Well, I'm on 3. I'm doing better than last week already.
There you go. Okay, and the last one. I'll play a little bit more.
So I went with Star Fox.
No, it is a little bit.
Or is it Metroid or some shit like that?
Well, it sounds a little bit spacey, but you actually already guessed this for one of your other
Pikmin.
ones. No,
Wind Waker.
no.
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports.
Oh,
That is the main menu music from Wii Sports.
is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I had no idea. 3.
You
I'll
put-
take 3 again.
You played Wii Sports, didn't you?
When the Wii came out, Ed. I've slept since.
But that music is really memorable.
Memorable, is it?
It's memorable.
Do you remember it? Okay, well,
So-
that was terrible.
1 was Mario Kart, 2 was Splatoon 3, 3 Zelda Breath of the Wild, 4 Animal Crossing New Horizons, and 5 Wii Sports.
And next time we will return to normal questions.
Okay, you want some easier ones?
An easier one, yeah.
All right. I'm doing my best.
I'm doing it for the people.
Okay.
Because they message and they go, I get 0, and Ed feels...
Do
Ed
they
just sounds
message?
smug. Yeah. Yeah, because I think, well, the first time we did it, I just got people saying, well, I got 0.
Well, okay, it was a little tricky the first time. I'll give you that. Let us know.
The Island from Turok, a game that came out in like 1997 or something. Yeah.
It was Dino Crisis, and it was a joke. Anyway, yes, let us know what you like of the music quiz. If that was a little easier for you, if you enjoyed it.
Yeah, let us know what you got.
We can mix it up. Put your scores in the comments. Let us know.
Definitely. All right. Well, I think that's it. What have we got planned for the next week? Anything exciting?
I have a Christmas meal.
When's
to
that
go
again?
to.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday
Tomorrow.
night.
I mean, today.
Yeah, today.
Okay.
With choir friends, and I
Mhm.
have a review to write, and some random days off to just play some games, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, same. Days off. But actually, no, I don't think I do. Do I? No. But no, Tuesday we've got a party.
We do.
And then get my haircut on Wednesday, so at least I'll look nice for the next podcast.
I'll look nice.
I'll have my ears lowered.
Good.
Yeah,
Which no one sees because you got headphones on.
that's true. I'll take them off next time. All
Where
right.
can people find you on social media, Ben?
They can find me at Biggest Benners everywhere that matters. And where can they find you?
You can find me at ed_nights or just Ed Nights, wherever.
There we go. It's on the screen if you're looking. And if not, it's in the description on the podcast.
Did you forget to
description.
put that on?
No, it was on at the beginning and at the end. I just don't like keeping the name things on the entire time because it looks a bit weird.
Oh, interesting.
All right. Thank you very much for watching.
Yes, thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.